Hello everyone, and welcome to a tutorial where we go through how Custobar's template designer works. My name is Stefan Melander, and I am Custobar's Head of Customer Success. So to get started, you can go to your initials in the upper right corner, then go to Settings, and from there you go to Content Templates. Here you also have listed all the current modules and templates in your Custobar environment, but if your environment is new, this list will be empty. But you can get started by clicking on the Template Designer button here in the upper right corner. So here you can see a plus sign now, since we don't have any templates generated from the designer. So we can click on the plus sign to get started and give it a name. I'm going to name it Guide for this tutorial. And then I'm going to select that template. So now you get this kind of editor view in Custobar. And I'm going to start off by going through all the tooltips up here in the upper left corner. So first off, we have the canvas, which is like the frame for the template. So here you have all the settings for the whole frame. So there's the background color, there's the content background color, margins, spacings, and width. And also, if you want to have a menu here or a navigation menu. Second part is where we go into more like details regarding template. So it's like company name, if you have a URL where for example, the logo and the hero image should link to. The fav icon URL, the hero image, if you wish to have a static default hero image, it will be shown here and you can put the URL there. And then there's the header and footer settings in this view as well. Then when we go forward, we have the module settings. So this is then when we start to tune the modules for this template, then all the settings for the modules will be seen here. We will go through these settings more in depth as well. And then under the hashtag sign, there's the headlines and settings. So there's like every headline, the primary headline, secondary headline. There's for the product titles, and for the all sort of headlines that can be used in the text will be defined here. And then we have the button settings. So this is for all the call to action buttons, what they look like, how wide they are, how high they are, and then the color for them as well. And the last tab is where if you are using some custom fonts, Google fonts, you can add them here. Just simply add the name and the font family, and then of course the URL for the font. But if we go into detail a bit more, how this works is that now that I'm selecting the canvas here, if I here change the canvas background color to black, for example, just by simply writing the hex code. And a lot of color codes can be found online as well, just by searching for color hex code. So as you can see now that I did a change, it automatically refreshes the page so you can see what you are editing and or how the edit affects your template. Then we have the content margin or container margin. This is for all the modules. Same for the spacing. So here you can tune them how you like. So I can put, for example, here I can put 10. And you can see that the spacing is a lot more, or the modules are closer to each other now. Same for the width. The recommended maximum width is 680 pixels. 600 is also very common, so it's just up to your own preference what you want to use here. And then if I click on the On button here on Has Menu, and we scroll a bit upwards here, you can now see that it added all the menu items here. And here you can then change the name for the menu button. It can be, for example, news, and then special offers, or something like that. So you can just add the navigation for the menu, and then you can add the URL to which it should redirect as well. The recommended amount of navigation, like this kind of tiles, is 4, because then it splits them to 2 and 2. So it works really nicely in the mobile view as well. If we then go forward, here is the place where you put the website URL and the fav icon and the hero image. How the hero image works, or the image URLs in Custobar, is that I'm going to hop away here from the designer, and I'm going to go to campaigns and image library. And here are all the images that are uploaded to Custobar, and I can upload a new one as well from upload images up in the upper right corner. But I'm going to select this bike, for example. And right now we don't have a copy image URL button here. We're going to add that. But when you right click on it and you go to inspect, then you can see the image URL here on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this image URL from here. And then I'm going to go back to settings and content templates and click on template designer again and select my template that we were currently editing. So here I can now add the hero image, and it automatically adds the picture that I just copied from the image library. So now if we go down, you can see that the header section is here. So here I can change, for example, the width of the logo. So now that I put 150, it becomes smaller, as you can see. And here you can also change the logo URL the same way as you did with the hero image. The show web link means that we show this opening browser text here, which allows the recipient to open the mail in his browser, either on the phone or on the computer. And from that, he can also share the link to the email to a friend, for example, if we want to link some offers. And in the header part, we still have show header in wrapper, and we also have it down here in show footer in wrapper. So this means that if you put this to off, the email will still work normally. But if you do specific changes to the header or footer, so that, for example, that the footers or headers background is full width, so it's like the whole page, instead of just the 680 that we had as width for the email. So then you have to put this to off, because what the wrapper word means here is that Custobar's modules, as you can see here, the hero image and the text modules here on the right side, they are all inside the wrapper. So it's like a module wrapper. So if you put the header and the footer inside the wrapper, they will also scale the same way as the modules. So then you can't have like full width background colors for the header and footer. And with full width, I mean that they go outside the 680 width that is here. So if you want to play around with that, you have to put this wrapper to off for both the footer and the header if you wish for them both to be that way. And if we scroll down here, this is the same menu items that were in the canvas part. They're here as well, so you can change them here, because now if you have played around with the modules, the layout might have changed, and here you can still do changes to them. And down here you have the footer text box. This is where you can write the footer text that will be shown down here. This box also understands HTML code, which means that you can put code straight into this box if you want to have pictures here, for example, social media icons, or a footer image or whatever. You can just add it here with basic HTML code. And the unsubscribed link text is this that is marked with red. And this link is the one that redirects then to the Custobar's unsubscribe page. If we then move along, we come to the module part. So here again, you have color options. So here you can now change the background color for modules. And as you can see now, all of these here that are inside the wrapper are modules. So they will now have the background color. The same goes with the content background. So if we change that to black as well, there will be some modules that has content. They will then have the black background color. And here you have the font. So if you would have your custom font added here, you can then change the font name here to, for example, Ubuntu. It's one Google font. And there you would also have the sans serif with it as a style, or the font family. You can then freely change the font size, the font weight, the text line height, the text color, the highlight color, and the text alignment. So here you can, for example, put left, and it then aligns all the text to start from the left. With the product fields, this is the basic setup with the product fields. This is when in Custobar that we also tackled in another guide how the email editor works, where you drag the product to the template, then it automatically fetches these fields from the product data. So here you could add fields that you wish to bring with the product data to the product module, if you would have, for example, some custom fields. This is a bit more advanced Custobar usage, but it's still possible to do from designer as well. And you don't have to do it right away, you can do it later as well. And then we have the price. And for the price, you can also edit all the text, like layouts, how it looks like, what the color is, what size it is, how it's aligned, and so on, and what the currency symbol is. So the easiest way to grasp these are to play with them, to edit freely, and to always remember to click save when you do some changes. And then if we go forward, the headlines are the same way as the modules. So you have all the layouts for the headlines. And when you edit them, you can see here, if I put this to 26, it makes the headline smaller. And the text color, the font weight, and everything is also editable here for all the headlines that you can use. And for the buttons, if we go down then here to our product module, we can see that the bottom's minimum width is 20. The bottom color is here, and the radiuses, the horizontal padding, the vertical padding. The horizontal padding is the width, and the vertical padding is the height for the button. And playing around with these will also show you how they work. So now I made the button really high, and I can make it even like wide as well. And I can also align the button to the left, or to the right, or to the center. And the button text color options are here. The size, the weight, and everything, the letter spacing, and the default text that is on the button. That text, though, is also editable when you create the email. So it's just the default text. And then there's the link color as well, and the text decoration if you wish to have some decoration on text if it has links. And for the custom fonts, you can here click add, and then, for example, put here the Ubuntu that I named, and then add the like this, and then you have to fetch, Ubuntu is a Google font, so you have to fetch the URL for the font from the Google fonts and just copy paste it here, as it is in the example above. Which means that then when you go back, you can then go here to the font family, and you can write the custom font name here, and it will automatically update all the modules with that font. So now that we have all the spacing, all the margins, everything that can be editable, there's always the need that you only wish to edit one module, just one. So then I can click on the hero image here, for example, and then you can see in the upper left corner that it's now chosen the hero image. So then I can go on and choose the container margin to be 0, which makes the picture full width. So it takes the whole 680 width for the image. I can also edit the spacing for this module. So then when I go along, I can click on all the modules here in the email, and you can see that it changes them up here in the upper left corner. So what you can do is that you can create separate layouts for each module. This regards every step of this editor or the designer. So we can go to the module view. Here you can change the module color, the background color, the content color, the fonts and everything. And now it's only for this module. So I can choose this module here, the text module. And now I can change the background color to black, for example. And then you can see it only affects this specific module. But always remember to deselect the module selection if you wish to do other changes to the design or to the template, because when you click on the module, it locks some of the features and makes them gray. And also, when you are editing the template, you can click on phone to see how it scales in mobile, and on desktop to see how it scales on desktop. But feel free to play around with it, feel free to create your own templates, feel free to test it. And once you are done, you can click on save. That will take you back here. Then you open it again, and when you are ready and you think you are ready to publish it, you can click on publish. And this one will then publish your template. So now when I close the designer, you can see that my guide template is here in the list, and the folder is here with all the modules in it. And now if I go to campaigns and I create a new email campaign, you can see that the template is also, when I choose to start from scratch, it's also here with the name guide. And that brings me to the editor view, which we have a separate tutorial for. And if you have any other questions, feel free to send them to us to support@custobar.com and we will help you out. And also keep in mind that our email designer is still new and we are developing it all the time. So thank you for your time and good luck.